Hey guys, it's Mike here, and today I'm going to be bringing you another video on WWE, and more specifically, we're going to be talking about the fallout from the main event of Raw tonight, and basically what happened on it, and more specifically, what did happen, Danny?
Roman Reigns won the world title. This was the first, I'll give them credit, this was the first WWE world title change on Raw since John Cena beat Rey Mysterio July 23rd, 2011. So it's been 4 years since they've done this. That's good.
Yeah, the thing is, though, that...
Little weird, but
me,
good.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, for me, like, what I really want to talk about in this video today is basically what I feel are the events surrounding this victory. Now, it's really interesting that someone actually won a belt on Raw. Everyone popped. It was a big moment.
The world title.
Yes, but... could it have been a lot bigger? Personally, I feel like just all the events that surrounded this match. Basically, Roman not getting the belt a month ago, not getting the belt last night. But I mean, he got it a month ago, but he got screwed out of it. And then tonight, he gets the belt. To me, it's like, why would you do it right now? Why are you basically giving him that belt on a Raw with no build at all, out of nowhere, and that no one saw coming? I mean, well, it's not going to pop ratings because of the fact that no one saw it coming. You know what I mean? So what is the point?
No. A couple things. I mean, it was built up because the feud had been going for a month. But not for tonight. No, well, what they did was this is classic. You know, let's put our historical caps on here. This is classic hot shotting is what it's called, and what they called it back in the day in the territorial days. Now, I'm with you in that. Here's where you and I will agree. For sure. If you were going to give him the belt, you should have done it on one of the pay-per-views, whether it be last month or this month. I agree with that. Or, last night, TLC, whatever, 2 nights ago, whenever, whoever's listening to this, Sunday. But they didn't do it. They had Sheamus win again, and they had Roman lay out Triple H, and I guess they want to get that angle going. So, what I think happened... Mike, I think that this decision, this is purely speculation here based upon history between, history of Vince McMahon and of pro wrestling. They decided this today. I think that this was a decision that was made probably like earlier today, and they wanted to hot shot it because number one, ratings have been going down for a while, and I think they wanted to have a big title change on Raw because, and this makes sense when you look at it from this perspective, the pay-per-view era is over. It's all about the network now, and even though you still want to save your big stuff for the network, every once in a while doing something like this could be beneficial. And to their credit, they haven't done it in 4 years. Now, one thing I will definitely agree with you on is that we're talking about the guy who's supposed to be the next tippy-top guy. His first win, he won it, and he got fucked out of it, and his second one, he won it on Raw. Like, you would think that you would save it for a big pay-per-view like a WrestleMania or even a SummerSlam, but no, they did it on Raw. So I agree with you on that one, but when you look at it from the other side of the coin, from the business, pro wrestling point of view, the reason, whether or not you and I agree with this, irrelevant, the reason why they did it tonight is purely to pop a rating, and the idea, you were saying they wouldn't pop a rating, the idea is that people would tune in early in the show, hear about the main event, and then throughout the night, the word would spread that Roman Reigns is going for the belt, and if he doesn't win, he's going to be fired. Right? That's the idea. Yeah. Now, what they don't understand, here's what the company's having trouble with. This idea works in theory. In theory.
Yeah.
The problem on paper, it does work. It does work. It's worked before. The biggest rating in the history of Raw, in the history, was not the This Is Your Life segment. The biggest rating was Steve Austin versus The Undertaker for the world title in a show that had a 2-hour, in a match that had a 2-hour build-up, just like this one. But the difference is that Roman Reigns is not over to the degree that Steve Austin was, even close, and Sheamus is not over to the degree that Taker was. And that's the key factor here. You gotta understand.
Sheamus isn't over to any degree.
I agree with you. And that's the thing. That we have to be very unbiased here. Yes, the idea makes sense, but Roman Reigns is not that guy right now. I'm not saying he can never be that guy, but for this to work, for this to have worked, people have to care about Roman so much that they're calling their friends up and they're saying, hey, Mike, you got to watch Raw tonight. Some shit's going to go down. And there's two reasons as to why this doesn't work. Not just because Roman's not over. The other reason is because WWE has, in the past, I'd say 10 years, effectively killed every stipulation ever. People get fired, they get brought back. People retire, they get brought back. So if you're doing a tease where your top babyface is getting fired, most fans now are going to know it's bullshit. There's not a single fan, unless you're a dumbass, I'm sorry, who's fucking watching this program and actually believes that Roman Reigns may get fired. Not a single fucking person believes it. And that's the problem with exposing the business. That it's gotten to the point now where the casuals are gone. It's almost all hardcores, and the hardcores had no fucking. Okay, you're gonna get either a fuck finish, or you're gonna get Roman winning, or you're gonna get him getting fired and coming back anyways. They did it with the Authority last year around the same time.
It's like when someone dies in Dragon Ball Z. We all know they're coming back. It's not like anyone stays dead. So,
except Grandpa Gohan.
Yeah, the only one, just like Uncle Ben in comic books. He's the only one they don't bring back. There's only a couple people they just don't bring back.
And the problem is there's no emotion when you do that. You kill the investment of the audience.
And the thing is too, on top of that, it's also the fact of the matter is that like you said, to elaborate further on that, Roman is not in the position to where you do this on Raw. The thing is that if you want to put this guy solidly cement him, you don't have him win on a random Raw. Like, ratings are not as important short term in that little pop that might go up next week and then go down again like it always does, as cementing the freaking guy who is going to be the head of your fucking company, which half the audience, maybe even more, don't even want in that position because they still have not cemented him in a way that actually works. There was people last night at the arena. Now, you could say whatever you want. There's smarks, whatever the fuck you want. But the fact of the matter is, if smarks are saying we want Cena when the fucking main event is going on for the WWE Championship after always shitting on Cena every time he comes out, then they fucked up. So even though he got a big pop at the end of the last pay-per-view, with being up Triple H, which was out of nowhere and should have happened months ago.
Well, it was very well done, and Hunter sold it very well.
Sure, but he was over tonight too during the match,
and it's crazy because that's the building that booed his ass a year ago.
Yeah, I feel
earlier this year. I mean,
I feel like a lot of it does have to do with the fact that we're actually having a championship match on Raw, so there is that pop as well. Yep. It's like with the Money in the Bank. Even if someone is a heel, everyone cheers the shit out of it because when someone is actually cashing it in and actually wins the title, because holy shit, this is amazing because we didn't expect this to happen. It subverts our expectations what we think is going to happen.
And not just that, but also when he nailed Vince with the big right hand, the Superman punch, Vince took it Vince looked good. I was actually very happy to see how healthy Vince looked. He took that shot, and it was a great spot. So, but I'm sorry, continue.
But the fact of the matter is, the actual epitome of this, in my opinion, that everything that is wrong with this is that they had him lose the past pay-per-view that just happened. Then the pay-per-view before that, he wins the title, but immediately they take it away from him. This is still almost along the lines of too little, too late. You still gave him the belt, but it doesn't matter as much as if it would have happened at Survivor Series or if it would have happened last night. I feel like the answer is no.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's like I said earlier in the video, I just kind of want to reiterate the decision. I understand what they were thinking. I really do understand what the idea was. Yeah. But like you stated, Roman is not to that level yet. Will he get there again? He might. This might be what he needed. We're gonna know in a few weeks whether or not this worked. But the question is, where do we go from here? I know that we were talking before we went on the air about where we go with this, and a lot of different possibilities for main event, because you really do have to factor in that Cena will be back and Brock will be back. So, and Taker will probably participate too. So, is Cena going to go against Roman? You thought Triple H might go against Roman, maybe Brock go against Roman. I don't think Triple H is going for that belt. I think if they do the Triple H Roman grudge match, I think it'll happen at the Rumble or it'll happen Mania non-title. I just don't see Triple H going for that belt. Maybe he will. I know you said that you think he will. I don't see it happening at this stage of his career because he really is the definition of a part-timer. I don't see it at all. And he's not over. To me, he's not. Triple H is not to that that degree of overness or that degree of endearingness to where he can be like Ric Flair and do the whole I'm coming back for one more. And here's the thing, man, with the way Roman laid him out, let's look at it from a different perspective. If they would have shot that angle with Roman laying out Hunter, and Roman was the heel and Hunter was the babyface, that's ridiculous heat. Like, I even said it on Facebook. I'm like, I kind of feel like cheering for Hunter. Like, can you imagine if that was the case? Then they could do the grizzled veteran goes after one last title run. And I know you hate Triple H, but I could see them doing that, and it could be a decent storyline if they do it right. But again, like you and I talked about, he's not Ric Flair, he's not the Crusher, he's not Inoki, he's not any of these guys who you can do the old, or Terry Funk. Terry Funk in ECW did it perfectly. You know, the old guy going for one last run against the unbeatable monster.
But, I mean,
nothing's going to top Ric Flair and Vader at Starrcade 93, bro. That was the best example.
But the thing is, like, whether or not we see it is not really the problem. What does Triple H see him, see himself as? Because if he sees himself as that position, then it's going to happen. Like, it doesn't matter, because we know that Triple H, in a lot of cases, will live in a la-la world. You know what I mean? Like, you know that this guy has such a gigantic ego. So do you really, like, I just find it hard to believe that this man is not like, I can't wait to trust myself enough to put myself in the main event of WrestleMania against Roman Reigns. I might even beat him.
No, because this Roman project's been going on for a while now, bro. And they're not gonna do. They haven't given up on him yet. There's no way they're gonna give up on him now. Nah, I don't see it. I just don't see it happening.
Well, Triple H might be like, oh, he got over by working with me even if he lost. Whenever Triple H is on screen or whenever he's involved in anything, I always think the worst of him, because that's, even like, the whole thing of him to eventually face Seth Rollins, even if it was not for the title, I see what's going on in that guy's brain. I want to be on top again. So that's like, even if it's not really in reality, I always see that. I got PTSD from this fucking dude when it comes to wrestling. I see
you definitely do.
But I mean,
you definitely do. But realistically speaking, I mean, they could hire Brock to go after him. I don't think they're going to do that. Brock will be back. Taker's going to be around. Maybe they'll give him like one last shot at Reigns, maybe. He's not going to win, though. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities is what I'm saying. I just think that, okay, when you look at the 4 possible challenges for Roman at WrestleMania, right? Yeah. Hunter, Cena, Brock, and Taker. I don't know how the hell Hunter's in 4th place easily. And the thing is, too, is that I do believe that Roman's dropping that belt. If he doesn't drop that belt before WrestleMania, he's not going to face Triple H. But I do think we'll see that match. We will see Triple H and Roman at some point. Maybe at the Rumble, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he beats Triple H at the Rumble, and then Brock wins the Royal Rumble, and then we have Brock and Roman, but with the reverse roles. This time Brock is a challenger, Roman champion. Who knows? But back to the original topic, the Roman, it was kind of off guard. I wasn't expecting it. I don't think you were expecting it, but I'm just curious about where they go with also Sheamus. Is he going to get another rematch at Royal Rumble? They have 5 weeks left, so plenty of time.
I really don't even care.
No, and you know what else is bad too, just real quick?
Yeah.
They formed this new stable called the League of Nations, and the absolute worst thing that you can do when you form a new stable and the guy's a champion is to have him drop the belt right away. That is the worst fucking thing. That part of the decision was bad, because the whole stable was about keeping the belt on Sheamus, right? That's how stables work, from the Horsemen to the NWO. When Flair had the belt and he formed the Horsemen, he didn't drop the belt a month later. When Hogan was leader of the NWO, he didn't drop the belt for like a year. And like, that's the point, that like, you have to build momentum for that heel stable so that eventually, when the babyface does conquer them, Roman Reigns in this case, it means something. You know what I mean? Like, they could have done the whole thing where they do a run-in, Roman knocks out Alberto. Out comes Wade Barrett. Roman gets him. Out comes Rusev. He nails Roman. Dean comes out, helps Roman. And then Roman nails Rusev, and then Roman gets Sheamus. And you do that whole thing where the babyface overcomes the odds. Here, the odds were like a 70-year-old man. It's almost like what the idea they had. Like, dude, honestly, Mike, this was a rushed idea. Everything that I see from the booking from last night and the booking from a month ago, this was a decision that was made either last night after the pay-per-view or sometime today. I just don't see this being a long-term decision.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, too, when it comes to that whole League of Nations thing, the fact of the matter is that they formed a stable around the wrong guy. Like, at the end of the day, I'm never going to buy Sheamus as champion, no matter who he's got around him. He's so fucking boring that he does not fit in that scene. But, like, the thing is, it just feels like they make the decision today, but why not make that decision last night, And that's pretty much what I think it comes down to. I don't know who he's going to face, but at the end of the day, you know, I guess we're going to have to wait and find out. But I just feel like they really should have just had this happen at a bigger event. And we're going to have to see how it actually works out and if that actually would have worked out better for Roman, because I think it would have. So this has been another video that we're bringing you today on WWE, in which we were talking about Roman Reigns' title victory, our reactions to it, and where we think we're actually going to go with it. Let us know your own thoughts down below. Were you excited at the event? Were you disappointed that he won it today instead of last night or a month ago? Let us know down below. Also, don't forget to check out Danny's channel, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as I always say, stick around, because there's a lot more to come in the future.
Wow, I can beat Roman Reigns' pussy ass any minute.
And you better subscribe.